to ever make 300. I hope. Well, if I hit 300 now, it will be. Put it that way. Your view count checking, motherfucker. Right, we're in. We're playing Commando Green, which any of you don't know, that is my deck of choice. It's Destruction. It's pretty fucking great. Throw to people who want to watch some Warhammer. Right, well, we're playing. I'll also talk through my plays as well in case anyone's new. Anyone's new to the game, doesn't know what's going on and all that sort of stuff. In before account reset. Right, we're in. So you obviously get 4 champions, and their points have to add up to no more than 20. And positioning them in one of these 4 lanes is basically where it's going to go. I always like to put the recruiter to the right hand side because he's got nothing I'm going to play on him is going to affect the board. He's just going to be like my card engine, so I'm going to put him to the right hand side. When I say what they've got to do is they've got to cost and add up to 20. If you see there, they've got the green bit. That's his cost, okay? So he costs 5, and the one above it means I get 1 extra life. So you start on 30 life, and you add up all the red dots on your 4 heroes, and you either add or take away that much life, and that's what you'll start the game on. When you go first, you lay 1, and then your opponent will go and they'll lay 2, like it's happening now. Then I will lay 2, and then they will lay the last 2, then I'll lay my last 1. So as this guy does nothing, really, with the things I'm going to play on him, that's why he's at the right-hand side. This guy's the same. Normally I'm just trying to complete his quest as quick as I can, so I put him over to the left-hand side as well. These 2 that I've got left in my hand, these actually, I've got units I can play on them that will affect the front 3 squares in front of them. So I need these 2 to be free and open, so when I play it on, either these 3 or these 3 squares will be used. So as it doesn't really matter, what's this guy? When this champion moves a highlighted unit, shuffle unit. Okay, cool. So I'm going to put this here because this guy looks pretty. I don't think I've played against this yet. And you also notice that he's got a U. Okay, that stands for unique. You're allowed 1 unique champion in your lineup. So he's got a U. So this is his only unique champion that he's going to have. And he's going to play his last 2, and then I'm going to play my last 1, and then I'm going to draw 4 cards. He's going to draw 5, and that's how it works with going first. Let me catch up. Yeah, feed us like baby birds. Is there an article showing the card nerfs? It's only 1 card that's been nerfed, and that was Gorka. And he used to say rotate all units to their final corner. He now says rotate all orcs to their final corner, which in itself is still hard, but he was a lot harder. You could abuse it a lot more. So I've drawn my 4 cards, and all I've got is units. You'll notice that I've got no wizards, and my opponent's also got no wizards, so we're just going to be playing a lot of units at each other. Ideally, I'm looking to try and find an ability. Okay, so this top corner here, the idea is you're going to rotate these 4 corners, and you can only do 1 with each card, but you can only play 2 cards a turn. So you get 2 actions. It can either be to play a card, or it can be to draw a card. I've got a heroic ability, which you can also use as 1 action, which lets me draw a card and play it if it's a champion. So it's a good card to have in this deck. So I'm going to use it. That's 1 action used. I'm going to draw this card, but it's not an orc, so I can't play it. So basically, I just use an action to draw a card early. That's all that works out as. I'm then going to put this guy over here and use my second action. Because he's a unit, see the red shield at the top, and the first one on here was a red shield, I've now used this corner. Okay, I've completed that corner of my quest. The next one, this yellow, like orangey one, is damage. The white one is to use an ability. If it's red shield with a picture in it, like this is an orc picture and this is a beast picture, that unit has to be either an orc or a beast to be able to get it to be used. And the only other one you'll see here on this board is this one down here with an X in it, which means I have to remove a creature. There's certain cards in the game that will remove cards. I can just knock it off the board without it actually using its last corners, and that's how the game's played basically. Okay, so my turn, all my cards rotate 1 to the left. I've only got 1 out, so it rotated 1, and I do whatever's in the top corner, which is 1 damage. That 1 damage happened, which happened to rotate my quest 1 more because it was a damage quest. Now to complete it, I just have to use an ability and do another damage, but I don't have any abilities in my hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this guy, which gives me extra actions. Obviously, I only get 2 actions a turn, but this guy, his corners give me extra actions. So I've got one action left, and I'm going to use that action to use this one's heroic ability, which means it's going to rotate my current unit 2 steps to the left. So it's going to rotate this 2. That happens. It rotates 1, I get 1 extra ability. It rotates the second time, I get an extra ability. So now I'm back up to 2 actions. This is something that's pretty unique to Destruction, okay? And this is why Destruction are quite fast. It's kind of like Green in Magic where you ramp out. I then still don't have any... what am I after? I still don't have any abilities to play. So we need to dig for some abilities. So I'm not going to play any cards now. I'm just going to draw 2 cards. So you've got to manage your resources of playing cards and drawing cards, because obviously you could play them all, but then you'll run out of cards, and then you'll have to spend a couple of turns drawing cards. So it's all about managing your resources. I'm definitely not looking at the chat. Yep, thanks, lads. Sweet, no problem, dude. Do you prefer going first or second? And do you feel it has large impacts on the game overall in certain matchups? Yes. Okay, if I was at a tournament now and I was playing people, I would go second with my deck. Okay, being Destruction, you want a high volume of cards. You're fast enough to outpace people, so I'd rather have the extra card and go second than first. I'll take it every time. So if I roll dice and beat my opponent, I'll be like, I'm going second. Placement for this deck isn't too relevant because these 2 are always going to go to the side and the 2 in the middle are going to be one way or another. That's about it. So I'd always go second personally. So what we have got now, which is sweet, is we've got this, which is an ability which lets us play 2 units. And because this rotated to its last one, I get 3. So I've got 3 actions right now, which is pretty sweet. So I'm going to use this to play 2 units. The first one I'm going to play is I've got 2 beasts. So I want to play a beast unit here to rotate this corner. I could play this one, which will give me an extra action. But on the opposite side of the board, he's about to do 6 damage to me. And obviously I don't want that to happen because it's going to hurt pretty hard. So I'm going to play this one. When it comes into play, it will automatically rotate 1 anyway because of what the Beast Boss does. And when this is in its corner, it's got the 2/2s, it makes this dormant, which means it won't move or do anything. It's kind of like it's dead now until my creature falls off the battlefield. So I'm not going to take 6 in the face next turn, which is what we're ideally after. The last one I'm going to do is I'm going to play this on here, if it let me do that in time. It might not. Okay, it did. Cool. So let me play that on there, and it rotated that top corner. So the stacking's a thing. See how this has got the ability stacking? That means I can play it on top of a unit that I've already got in play. So when the unit's at its last corner, I ideally want to stack creatures on top of it because it'll be ideal and useful for me. I'm going to draw a card because I'm after trying to get another ability to put in this to rotate this guy here, but I didn't manage to hit it. I did hit an orc though, so I could play this here if I want to, but I don't want to do that because this guy's actually one of my best cards and I can use this and just clear the board. See what I mean about earlier about putting placement for these 2 cards? If I put this down, the front 3 cards in front of him when he hits his last corner, I get to remove them. So he's actually like a really good corner card to have. But have it in my hand, I don't want it in play just yet. I want to be able to use it with this guy's heroic ability and turn it 2 steps forward. So out of nowhere, I can remove these front 3 cards. So obviously that's more ideal for me than now my opponent knows about it as well. They have to play around it. They have to respect the fact that I have it. Rotating a board of Groots with Gurkha was nasty. Played some dude that got up to 8 actions. Yeah. Well, we had it on stream earlier. Someone went up to 7 actions. How do the other factions manage the intensity between reform action and drawing cards? So, like Order controls the board a lot. Like they can play things that mean I can't play things. Like they can lock down lanes, and they can continuously do that. And while they continuously do that, they can draw their cards that way, so they don't fall behind in card advantage. There are other ones that have like certain cards have abilities that give you extra actions in Chaos. But then the way the like death decks work is they hit your hand a lot. They make you discard cards at random. So they can just go bam, take 4, discard 2 cards. And obviously 2 cards in this it's quite backbreaking if you lose 2 cards, especially early on. I can't do anything, so I'm just going to draw 2 cards. Hopefully hit an action, but of course I don't. I'm hitting all my units again. What's the last one we're missing? Order of Destruction, Death. order, chaos. No, I spoke about them all. Yeah, so everyone's got ways of doing it and ways of playing. It's easier to find destruction because it's kind of laid out for you. This is how you get the extra turns. Where the other ones you have to actually build your deck and figure out how to do it. But a lot of people wasn't into doing that, unfortunately. This doesn't delete mine, does it? No, just hers. Let's use a Hurricane. Yeah, and also, so when they do, I'm on about your opponent. You make your opponent discard cards. But yeah, they also will bring stuff back. So discarding for them isn't a big deal. If they have to like discard one card to make you discard two, they've got a lot of cards that will put cards back into their graveyard or back into their hand. It's very like a very recycling deck. Do I want to pick this here, chat? No, I don't think I want to pick that there. I want to draw a card. Okay, now we hit the one card we're after. So every alliance has 3 cards that have this ability. They're always an ability that you can play on anything, like a warrior or a wizard, and it will say remove highlighted spell or unit, and then underneath it will have a different action. So my ones do 1 damage. There's other ones that are like gain 1 health. Other ones rotate a unit backwards 1 step. Things like that. So what are we doing with our opponent here? Kind of want to get rid of this, but it's a bit late now. So let's... Oh, my front door is going a minute. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to use my Hurricane. Yeah, come in! I'm just halfway through the game, mate. Give me a sec. Yeah, no. So we hit an ability, which is what we're after. So let's cast this on here and see which ones we hit. Okay, so the blessing we hit is the one that does 3 damage. So this is quite good. This is 9 damage over time, all right? It's not exactly what we're after, but we can now trigger this one here in the corner as well, because this uses the ability, and then the top right-hand corner means it's going to do 1 damage. So we do 5 damage, and it's going to rotate all our units, because this blessing's pretty good. So this puts us quite far ahead now, okay? So we're going to leave our opponent on 5 life, which is obviously ideal for us. And then we're going to put this on here. And then, like, so next turn, unless they can gain life, I can play this and rotate it 2 steps to do 5 damage. And then hopefully we're going to win and become level 300. I hope. Oh, no, they also gain 2 life. Okay, so that's not going to work. Oh, well, they're going to take 2 damage from this. 3 damage from this, sorry. And then they're going to take 5 damage from this. And this doesn't do anything this turn, I don't think. Increased damage done by highlighted. Yeah, okay, that's not going to do anything this turn. Okay, so we win. So give them the well played. Oh, they also take 3 damage from down here as well. So unfortunately for them, they had to play us as we're going for 300. Because let's be honest, I'm not losing this game. I'm never losing this game. Not for 300. It's not going to happen. So we'll go there. Do 1 and we win, and hopefully we're 300, guys. Boom.